Well, okay. Here's what we'll do. Things have reached their natural conclusion. I think that is safe to say. This is my tower, never to be completed, unfortunately. Um, well, what is that? Okay, it doesn't matter. Um, Sadly, it will never be completed because our time has run out, and that's alright. Um, as we're in here, I've got my fox, Ophelia. Can't really see a name tag, but promise, that's a name. My raven. Um, Here's the murder basement, as we've so affectionately dubbed it. Um, we've got, essence berries. We've got the blood altar. Not a very good blood altar, but I don't think I'll ever really be going beyond this. Truthfully. Um, Up here are my magic rooms. We have fire tick turned on, I suppose. My cauldron room. This is my arcane alembic. My energy condenser. My jars. Um, and my advanced enchantment table. I did some detailing up here with some bookcases, but, it's sort of, it's not very exciting. This is my, my farming area. I'm not really into it, to be honest. But there's not much else to do in this area, to be honest. Perhaps next time I will add less levels, but I do love a good structure that is large. This is the gateway room. We'll be coming back to that. Through this hallway is my crafting altar. We've stopped at quartz and moonstone because I think it's more aesthetically pleasing than the alternative. I've never, I haven't gone really deep in with Ars Magica, but you don't really need more than this is the thing. Like, it's actually the fact of the matter that you don't really need to go that deep. Here is my infusion altar. Again, not very loved. Needs a bit more. Well, you know what I mean. It deserves more, I think, and that this location was never really completed. Obviously, as you can see, even the underside. This was supposed to be a dome, but it wasn't meant to be. Um, and when you come back through here and rise up another level, there was nothing here. I'm not sure if I still have my triffids, but there was a time where I had triffids living here. And they did not survive the Eldritch Guardians that occasionally spawned from my mind, but Um, yes, and up here, this would be my bedroom. Um, and it's not that exciting. It's not terribly exciting. I've got some spells, some other little books here. I've got my arcane book table, research table. Here's where I put my alchemical bag when I'm not using it. My oculus, inscription table, all those things. I'll be going over my inventory shortly because it's good to have a record of such things. Alright. So, and here is my armor. I do have cosmetic armor turned on, but this is my shadow metal Shadow Fortress set, I suppose. I've got the Angry Ghost faceplate, obviously, because, well, come on. Um, what I've got here is my Warped Goggles Revealing, Boots of the Traveler, great enchantments. My Baubles, Body Stone, Feather Wings, Runic Shielding, Repair Talisman. Repair Talisman is always a must-have, I think. 10 hearts, pretty good, pretty good. Never really went beyond that, though. I've got my focus pouch on me. Only a few focuses, but that's alright. I got the Shadow Attuned Primal Aspected Warpwood Wand, which is to say, I would say, by far the best wand in all of Thaumcraft as a whole. And beyond that, we've got some spells in the spell book. they're all named in Chinese, so actually, well, except for that one, they're all named in Chinese, so I'm actually not really able to tell you exactly what their aspects are. But that's my ice beam. Um, I believe this is Star Call. Well, but it won't trigger unless there's an enemy. Excuse me. This is my dig spell, obviously. Thaumonomicon. Let's go through the what I've achieved here. All of basic information, all of thaumaturgy, all of alchemy, all of artifice, not all of Golomancy, because I rarely do I specialize into Golomancy. I have done all of Eldritch, I do believe. Thaumic Tinkering has not been quite so loved. But you know. Apocrypha, same issue. Much of it is done, but the vast majority of it remains unfinished. Obscura I have fully completed, because it is, if you know anything about me, you would know it's my favorite Thumbcraft add-on. Thaumic Bases is about what I need done. You know, we've got the Thaumaturge's Arsenal. Who doesn't love a good revolver? The tobacco, obviously, which I actually do not indulge in at all this world, which is a bit of a shame. Thaumic Horizons. I have done much of the research in Thaumic Horizons, but I've not actually done any proper work in um, making it anything good. You know, I've not put in the effort to actually learn how to use it, which is a bit of a shame, but that can't be helped. You know, it can't be helped. So there's all the Thaumcraft research. I've got my wireless terminal for my Applied Energistics ME system. I love this thing a lot. Um, I've got a lot of materials. I've got auto crafting set up. In the future, I think I will definitely be making the ME system a lot earlier. um, and now for the fun part. So we do have some unfortunate keystones, and at a later point we will be getting to those. Um, um, but I'm wanting to take you here to the garden. One of my favorite locations. It is my Britannia area, and I do love it. I love it quite good, but you know, there are some lighting issues with the bench here. As you can see, I've actually not really gone beyond very basic Britannia, but the Endo Flames, you know, they really don't need that much. They need a little bit of love, and they go a long way, you know. I recommend Aeternalis fuel as a fuel source for them, not because they burn faster, but rather because I don't know. It feels good to have something that burns for a while, and I know that um, power sources beyond, I think, like Mobius fuel are redundant, but I am obscenely wealthy, as you can see, and it doesn't really matter what I do because of this. My transmutation tablet, I have got millions and millions of EMC. I am never in need, essentially. So there is no point to not using Aeternalis fuel. That was always my methodology with that. I've technically got a lower layer here, but again, never finished. It is a bit sad, actually, but, you know. And if I take you back to the gate, we will look at my portal hall, which is not very exciting, I will admit. I've got my nether portal and my twilight portal. That's about it. This here was the mob grinding area, and, you know, it is one of the only times I've ever put any effort into using Essentia pipes. But it's been unused for a long time, and as you can see, I've got my maid in there, but she's not quite happy that I haven't said anything to her in a bit, so I think we'll go say hi. This is Lavinia. This little rec room area, I was always quite fond of, but it's quite small as well, and it does not fit many people. But there are many good memories had here, I would say, and you know, I would not be opposed to making some more. But I do think that this is not an ideal meeting place at all. We got Cognitio, excuse me. Transmutation table. It's got everything you need, more or less. A lot of Eldritch Eyes, a lot of everything. So, you know, everybody became very wealthy in this place. Um, and that will take you to the place that was constructed for, well, not so much Cain as another man, but uh, it's not really to his taste at all, is it? Um, and even these images do vex and haunt me, but, you know. There are visions which I have seen that have granted me access to these terrible, terrible sights. And I don't claim to understand them, but you know, whatever comes to me, I suppose. But um, as you can see, this was where I would launch my rocket from, and definitely in the future, I would make a dedicated space for my rocketry. Um, as you can see, I've had to slightly demolish this poor garden, um, which was quite lovely, but you know, only to go to space. And there are some things in space that have since vanished, and actually a great sort of calamity from space has actually come recently. But you will see that soon. But it's not a great one. Don't get too excited. And if you take it this way, without any key at all, you'll end up in my storage room. And here we've got Cordelia. She is well paid, not to worry. My foxes, I have 2 of them. Oh dear. Um, it appears someone has taken my liquid experience. Quite the shame. But it's a very simple system. I will actually show you it really quickly because, you know, I've recently got very into these elite mechanical pipes because I find them quite beautiful and efficient, and yes. So there's a bit of a buffer needed, and that's why we have the ultimate fluid tank. Um, over here, I'm charging my energy cube. I've got my machinery, my big reactor. I'll show you a bit more of that later. And here's my ME crafting terminal. As you can imagine, the actual ME system is behind here, and it is quite beautiful. If I I find it quite awful, but I think in the future I would definitely work to create a more elegant solution to what I've got going on here. But of course, at this time it is no problem, and that is what I find. I've got my molecular assemblers, ME interface. You know, it's all here. I'm sure that in the future I'll remember how to do it, and I will do it much quicker and much more efficiently next time. I do want to show you my induction matrix. It's got a lot of power stored. It doesn't, you know. Down here I've got a more powerful reactor constantly running. As you can see, it is in a constant state of fuel. It has no coolant, but it doesn't matter because there is no shortage of tellurium, as you can see. So this thing just runs forever, and it ejects its waste into this trash can, and it is extremely inefficient, but quite funny, in my opinion. As you can see, I've got this light which reacts to the status of my induction matrix, whether it's turned on or off. Should it be turned off, that this light will go off as well, so that I can know. And you know, there's a bit of you know, bit of wiring, but nothing too exciting. I am not a man who knows anything of redstone, and I don't pretend to be. Now, if you come out this way, you'll see that we've actually just about reached the end of our tour. Here is the smaller tower, quite cute. It's a bit of a, you know. And here is the larger tower. Again, even the base actually was unfinished at the end, but you know, such things cannot be helped. And what did I say? In this world, you do what you can, I suppose. Now, there was something that I saw which was a bit strange to me, and I wonder if it is even still there. But no, I suppose not. Wonder what that was. Well, I see over there. You may see a peak of that strange calamity, but it's nothing to worry about. Oh, yes, one last thing. My nodes! My beautiful children. Aren't they gorgeous? Quite large. I think in the future I would actually consolidate into one mega node because at a certain point you don't need nodes anymore, really. I mean, you know, my shadow wand actually recharges based on my insanity, and let it be known that I'm quite insane. Permanently. Um, but actually, the less that you engage with Thaumcraft, the less that warp effects actually appear. So I don't have to deal with the horrible nausea and other assorted terrible, terrible affects which plague my being most of the time. Primordial Pearl, I've got some weaponry as well. Not really my thing, but there are forces which compel me to do strange, strange things, and I do not question them. After all, if they're speaking to me, they must have some brain at all. So, that would be my home, and I'm quite sorry to see it go. But all things must go in time.